Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. How beautiful is that? I mean, so many are embarking on that very important pilgrimage. We know, subhanAllah, the Labbaik has been called and they're going to be performing the Hajj. We wish them all Hajj Maqbool, Hajj Mabrur, subhanAllah. We're actually talking now about something that we all need, but we often overlook. What am I talking about? A life detox. And of course, I'm not talking about those green smoothies and the juices, cleansers, how we do all of those things. I'm talking about detoxing the things that actually weigh us down emotionally and mentally as well. So what are we talking about? What are the things that actually do weigh us down in these kind of things? And we're not talking about food, toxic relationships, cluttered spaces, and also overwhelming digital habits. I've shared with you how to declutter your digital life. Now we're talking about detoxing your actual life. So if you've been feeling emotionally heavy, mentally scattered, or even spiritually drained, then this is your moment to pause, to breathe, and to reflect. Joining us on our screens, let us also welcome back to basically the show our viewers on Facebook and YouTube. And then we have a special guest joining us today on our screens and the airwaves is Sister Fatima Talia, who is a businesswoman, author, poet, and transformational life coach as well. Wonderful to connect with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Fatima, and welcome to Urban Woman this morning.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thanks for the invitation.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, when people hear the word detox, let's be honest, they often think, as I mentioned, it's the juices and it's the diets and things like that, because we don't actually realize the importance of our mental state and how it impacts on us and in everything else in our lives. So what does detoxing your life actually mean on a psychological and an emotional level as well?
Okay, lovely. And you're absolutely correct. We often want to detox and we hear about it a lot. And we've heard about it. They say you are what you eat. And then also, if I'm going to take it one step further, you eat what you think of. So everything starts in the mind. Okay, this is what coaching is all about. This is what transformation is all about. We need to start it. It all starts in the mind. So it starts in the mind. Your mind gets linked to your emotions. And then your emotions have a direct impact on your well-being. So everything starts in the mind. We want to align a mind, body, and soul. You cannot leave out our soul in this. So once you've got the mind, body, and soul alignment, you are ready to begin to clear yourself off in whatever it is that you want to do and achieve later on.
Absolutely. Beautifully said. That's the power of the mind, is we always say, you don't just walk into the kitchen and say, oh, what am I going to cook today? And then you'll stand there forever. Clarity. So it begins in the mind. Why do you think that it's absolutely important, especially for us women, urban women eventually, or shall I say, to evaluate not what's on their plate, but who's in their life and also how they spend their time?
Yes. So here you want to think about situational awareness. So if you think of situational awareness, which is things that we don't often do, we just want to carry on. Like you had mentioned earlier, you'd go into the kitchen and, oh, what can I make today? And then you figure, oh, no, I don't have this and this and this. That's not the way to really de-stress yourself. When you don't have the planning that goes towards it, your mind is too full. You have too much mind chatter and overthinking going on in your head. And you need to clear that away in order for you to then go forth without a whole lot of, where you can get stuck. And there's a whole lot of places where you, oh, no, I didn't do this. I couldn't manage this. So we talk about situational awareness. Now here for us, what we want to do in terms of clearing up our minds and our emotions, you first need to ask yourself, what are I'm going to call them lions, because we can totally relate to that. If you're in a if the animals are in the jungle and they're aware a lion is coming, they will know what to do. It's instinct. They would know what to do. In our case, for some reason, we've not relied on that type of instinct. We don't think of it like this. But I want us to think of it like this. Think about lions, right? In a sense, like lion is danger, and what are we doing about it? So it's situational awareness. Now here I'm asking, what are the lions around you? Now it's for us to raise the awareness in ourselves. What are the lions around me? Is it digital overload? Is
Uh-huh.
it drugs? Is it uh, or what is it? What is it? Is it drugs, alcohol? Uh, what are the lions around me? So you ask yourself that question. So you're creating that situational awareness around yourself, right? Then you
Mm.
can ask yourself, who are the lions around me? So if you think of who are the lions around me, so what in the workplace, in your family, wherever you are, who are the lions around you? Who are they that are pretending to be your friends, but they're not really your friends? So they're jealous about you. Who are they? If you are working, which of your colleagues are really wanting to pounce on what it is that you are doing? So you create that whole situation within yourself to understand yourself better and where you're at. And the last question you want to ask here is, what are the lions within you? Now, there's many, many different lions within us. It might be you are a perfectionist, and that can be like a lion within you because it's going to impact negatively on your well-being. So, any negative emotions that any emotions that you have that are negative, they're going to impact negatively on your well-being. So be alert and aware of what it is that you have that you'd like to get rid of because it's negative and it's having a negative effect on you. Once you understand yourself on all of these levels, then only then can you want to seek to correct yourself.
Absolutely. And that is the power of awareness. When we are
Yes.
aware and what is impacting us. So, as Sister Fatima has said, what, so that around, so who, and then also the internal work as well. Identify your triggers. So self-awareness very powerful. Let's talk about something that I think many people would love to hear about, and it's something that affects all of us, because if COVID has ever taught us anything, it's the power of relationships and that we do not live on an island. Let's talk about relationships now. How does one actually identify in a relationship, even if it's a long-standing one, that the relationship has now become toxic or even emotionally draining?
The easiest identification is yourself. So that's why I always talk about self-awareness. So in the coaching, what I talk about is self-awareness, self-reflection, and then self-correction. Because we don't want to prescribe to people what to do and what not to do. We want just to create awareness in themselves, because once you've created the awareness, you can reflect on your own self and what it
Mhm.
is, and then you correct yourself based on your personality. Now, the easiest way to identify that person is who brings out the worst in you. And
Mm,
automatically you would know, right? And so
yeah.
there we're talking that. So we're always talking about self-awareness. Understand yourself, be aware of yourself and your emotions. When
Mhm.
you're going to be interacting with someone, or when you know, and when you are in that situation, you're interacting with someone, if it's bringing out stress in you, or an anxiety, if that person brings out stress or anxiety or dread or fear in you, already you know, okay, this is toxic for me. Okay. So your gut is your first tool of awareness, so to speak. We all have
Mhm.
it in us. We have the sixth sense, but then often we don't want to listen to the sixth sense. But your sixth sense is what your body is alerting you towards, right? And
Yeah.
when you continue to interact with these people who are bringing you down, who are stressing you, who you are fearing, you are dreading, you almost will start struggling with chronic fatigue, especially if those people are around you all the time. So here, there are people that you can't just distance yourself from. Let's say it's a family, and you're living in the family situation. There are people in the home, and this particular person continuously to bring out that anxiety and the stress and fear in you, and you can't do anything about it. Then we talk about setting boundaries, and we teach how to set the boundaries around yourself, not so much to keep them out, more for yourself and to keep yourself where you need to be. So the boundaries are created there to safeguard yourself and your emotions, as opposed
Absolutely.
to cutting them out.
Absolutely. Because it's yourself, as you said, to safeguard yourself. It is yourself that allows it. So identifying which boundaries need to come into place without the guilt and the shame and the fear and so forth. So, Sister Fatima, as we're wrapping up and we touched on some very important aspects of life, how does then detoxing all these different areas in our life, it comes to relationships, space, even our digital use, actually help with our overall healing?
Okay, so the answer is in your question. You mentioned the word toxic. And so if it's detox, you want to detox what is toxic. So what is toxic? Toxic is something that's poison for you. It is dangerous for you. It's unsafe for you. It's harmful to you. So again, we're going to bring in Islam again. Allah does not allow self-harm. Okay, so when you're moving away from self-harm and you're pushing away the self-harm, what are you doing? It's self-care. So think about things as self-care. So particularly when you begin to feel guilty, like, oh, I don't really want to interact with this particular friend of mine because she always gossips and she's just bringing me down and she'll tell me about a whole host of things. So you understand that in awareness there. Now, when you're setting the boundaries, not to keep her out, it's keeping yourself safe. This is what we want to do. And the more keeping yourself safe is self-care, and that is what Islam prescribes for us. So we need to know and understand ourselves where we can recognize the emotions that are going through us. Every single emotion that we feel spikes a certain chemical within us. So the good stuff is lovely, and that spikes the good chemicals within us. You have the feel-good hormones, you feel the feel-good chemicals, you're feeling lovely. And on the opposite spectrum, it's those things, the stress and the anxiety when you feel, it's kicking off cortisol. That's not good for us. That's very bad. And the more you're exposing yourself to these people and to these situations, the more cortisol you're going to have in your body. And that's not a good chemical to have in your body. It's there, it's necessary when it's needed, but in the small amounts, not an overload of, because it has its own side effects, so to speak, on your body, right? So when you are feeling low in energy, you feel you get sick often, you're having sleeping problems, you can't achieve your goals, you find no fulfillment in your life, you really are beginning to suffer from burnout. You really need to step up to the plate and stop it right there where it is, and then begin to unpack all of that baggage that you are carrying so that you can feel lighter and energetic as you're moving along.
SubhanAllah. And that's the purpose of why we are here. We are meant to serve. Allah Azza wa Jal has created us all in such unique, beautiful ways. And there's a purpose that we have to play. And if we are allowing the harm, as you said, to come in, it's absolutely going to deny us of that opportunity to serve in the way that we are meant to for our purpose here. So remember, beautifully said, self-harm is not condoned in Islam. Self-care is you are an amana to yourself and you're going to be accountable to yourself. And people often allow themselves to go through all of this toxicity in life. And then I've often heard this as someone also an NLP life coach, is that, this is my fate. This is just my test Allah is putting me through. Really? And I think, really? There's a hole, there's a fire, you're going to jump in and say, I'm burning, and it's just Allah wants me to burn. Really? Allah Azza wa Jalla has given power of choice, of thoughts, of akal, and so the tools are there. So it's been so wonderful chatting with you, Sister Fatima, and thank you so much for sharing the very valuable advice that we do need to recognize, realize, bring into our lives, and inshallah live from a much lighter and healthier, empowered perspective. Until we connect again, thank you for your time and have a lovely day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That was Sister Fatima Talia, who is a businesswoman, author, poet, and transformational life coach. So remember, personal awareness is a key. Always be aware of yourself, because if you are aware, that's where your power lies. I mean, think about it, right? You open the door and there's a big hole outside. Now you have no awareness. Open the door, walk in, and then you're going to go inside the hole. But yet, if you have the awareness, what are you going to do? You're going to do things very differently. And that's how you're going to protect yourself. And then obviously you can go further in life instead of ending up in a hole. That's where your power is. So self-awareness is super powerful. Let's go for a quick break. It's your Urban Woman Show with me,